All right, Shalom, back again. Salakia, my video ended because I had low memory, so I had to delete a few things, man, and free up some space so I can get back to it. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump on to the next scripture. This is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. To keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of the strange woman. All right. So what? It says, for the commandment is a lamp. All right. It's a light. All right. And the law is light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life. All right. It's to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of the strange woman. All right. Because if you take heed to these commandments, all right, by doing what? Ecclesiasticus 9:9, sit not at all with another man's wife. All right, that's a commandment. So if we take heed to these commandments, man, it'll keep us away from the wickedness, man. It'll keep us from going up. All right. Verse 25. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart. And so there it is again, man. That's another precept. So that's the third time. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, in thy mind, la'ah. Neither let her take thee with her eyelids, man. Because why? Like I was saying, how they had them big eyelashes, man, and they do this, the twinkling of their eyes. You know, even on the cartoons, man, when you was growing up, you could watch certain cartoons and you would see the woman, and the way that they created the character, she would actually bat her eyes back and forth towards another male character, man. And that was like, you know, that was, you know, she had like a crush on the guy, man. Or she was flirting with the guy, you know, and that was always a sign of it in the cartoons, you know, in the animation. You know, the woman would bat her eyes probably about 5 times, beat me, you know, flashing back and forth, you know. Well, that's what that's talking about, man. You know, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with thy eyelids, man. So in other words, man, don't be fooled, man, deceived by her beauty, man. Don't let her deceive you by her outside, because on the inside she could be dirty as hell, man. Verse 26. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. All right. Can a man take fire in his bosom, and his clothes not be burnt? Can one go up upon hot coals, and his feet not be burnt? So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whoso of her shall not be innocent, man. So see that? You see that, man? Let me read that again. Man. Because see, that's a precept. That goes with what I started out with, man. Rock 99. That's exactly what I was saying, man. Let me go back up to that, man. This is Proverbs 6 and 27. Can a man take fire in his bosom, and his clothes not be burned? Can one go upon hot coals, and his feet not be burned? So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her shall not be innocent, man. See that? Whosoever toucheth his neighbor's wife shall not be innocent, man. So back into what I started out with, I was basically saying that, you know, when a woman has a man, okay, she's married or she has a man that she's dealing with in the truth or whatever, okay, and she has a friend that's a male, okay, the opposite sex is her in the world, and she considers this guy to be her best friend. More than likely, man, you know, they having sex, man. More than likely, it's something going on in that picture, man. You know, that they don't want you to know about it, that they hide or they keep between themselves as a secret. You know, and these are the type of things you got to be aware of, man. But what? Say, he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, shall be burned, so to say, man, because it went into it was like a finisher of verse 28 when it said, "Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned, man?" You know, you can't play with fire and not get burnt, man. You know, you can't go in a hot kitchen and expect not to feel the heat. You see what I'm saying? So you know that's what that's talking about, man. You know, you dealing with a woman that's married, man. You know, she's bringing destruction upon herself already. You know, But by you being the one she dealing with or going off with, man, you bringing destruction upon yourself also, man. Or both of y'all gonna get burnt. You see what I'm saying? You know? All right, verse 29. So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her shall not be innocent. All right, so when that happens, man, that man will pay. He will pay dearly for that, because that goes from, okay, so it started out as the man wanting the woman because of her beauty, or that woman who has a man wants this man, or now she's desiring this man that she considers to be her best friend. Now she like him now. It don't even have to always be the man want the woman. That woman could have a man and be married, but this guy that she's considering to be her best friend, she now wants him, on the low. And that's something that she keep between her and him type of thing, So they mess around and have sex with each other, man. They gonna pay. They both gonna pay, because it started out as it went from friends to now to becoming lust, because now they looking at each other and they want each other based on their appearance and they just start looking good to each other. So now it becomes lust, and then when they actually have sex with each other, that goes from lust to adultery and fornication, man. Which now is the judgment of death. All right. Verse 30. Men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore it sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. So see that's going into what? He say what? For jealousy is the rage of a man. All right. So it's natural for a man to be jealous, or to naturally be jealous, man. Even if, the woman already belongs to him and that's his woman, he has a right to be jealous of that woman dealing with being friendly with another guy or anything like that, and women, why you so jealous? You have no reason to be jealous. You insecure. That's bullshit. It's not about being insecure, but it's just about order, man. And the way things should be as opposed to the way things are. You see what I'm saying? And the way things are right now, as opposed to the way things should be, will vex a man's spirit that has understanding. A man of understanding spirit will be vexed in this time, man. And when he has understanding of the way things should be, and things aren't that way. His woman shouldn't be dealing with any man besides him, or being friendly or conversation wise to any man besides him. But now this woman going out and having drinks with this guy, and they spending time together, and they talking on the phone and all these type of things, man. That man naturally will become jealous. All right, he will naturally become jealous. It's right here in the scriptures. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore will he not spare in the day of vengeance. So now when it come time for that man, all right, he find out, or he come home, and that guy that's considering himself to be the best friend of that woman, they in the bed together. Or they all hugged up together, or they doing something that's a little more over the board, then now that husband will not spare in the day of his vengeance, man. He ain't gonna spare, man. He may mess around and kill both of them. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. So you try to bribe him and give him this and give him that. That's not gonna satisfy him, man. The only thing that's gonna satisfy that hunger for vengeance, all right, is going to be the vengeance. So you don't want to allow yourself to be set up in this type of situation. So in order to avoid it, then avoid being, having that type of relationship with a woman that has a man. Avoid that. Completely avoid that, man. Because you don't want them problems, man. You don't want them problems. I promise you don't. And the Most High is, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, he's given us a warning, man, to warn us of this type of situation. Next scripture, Matthew. Come on, man. The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 27. All right. This is Matthew 5 and 27. And this is Yahushua speaking. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, by the prophets, man, in the Old Testament and in the law, that thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whomsoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, have committed adultery with her already in his heart. All right, so once you look onto a woman to lust after her, man, or you start thinking about, damn, you basically start undressing her in your brain, like, damn, man, I do this and I do that, and she can get this, and so forth and so on, man. Well, Yahushua has said what? That you have already committed adultery with her in your heart, man, in your la'ab, in your mind, by thinking of those type of things, man. By thinking of her that way. Remember, we not supposed to want a woman for her beauty, man. And see, if more of Israel actually took heed to that, man, not desiring a woman for her beauty, then there would be a lot less deaths going on. There'll be a lot less of that vengeance, man, going on, man. Because, a lot of men will deal with a woman. The woman could tell that man, hey, she got a man. Or, or she'll tell him that she has a man. And that man, especially if he in the world, they don't care. They don't care, man. Especially they ain't following these laws, statutes, and commandments. So guess what? That man will tell you he don't care that you got an old man, or he don't care that you got a man or a husband. He don't care. And he's still going to try to holler at you. So now it's up to how strong that woman is, man. And if that woman got the strength to turn that away, because if not, if she's still super weak, which most of the women are, they're weaker vessels. All right. If she's still super weak, then she may give into that, man. Just knowing that, that man don't care, what I'm saying, that she has a man. And really deep down, she don't care either. So he's the perfect candidate to sleep around with, Verse 9. Wait a minute. No, that's it on that. I'm going to skip over to the book of Ephesians. Come on. Chapter 5, verse 33. Man, but if Israel took more heed to these law, statutes, commandments, there'll be a lot more less destruction going on, man, amongst each other, man. Amongst each other, man. There'll be a lot less jealousy, there'll be a lot less hurt, a lot less heartbreak, going on, man. But because we don't, our people are a rebellious nation, man, and we don't take heed to these laws, statutes, commandments. We just live our lives however we want to live them, and we do whatever we want to do, and whatever makes us feel good, and whatever pleases unto us. All right. Then we're going to continue to go off, man, and be wicked. And we naturally living in sin, man, and going off every day. All right. Verse 33 of Salakia, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 33. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife, even as himself. And the wife see that she reverence her husband. All right. So, yeah, we supposed to love our wives, even as we do ourselves, which we do, which is why, we go out and we teach and we put in work in this truth, man, ultimately in order to try to save us and our families. Right. So that's love, man. That's love for our wives, man, as we love ourselves, because we want to save ourselves. Right. We want salvation for ourselves, but if we push even harder to try to get that salvation for our families also, then that there's definitely love there, man. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife, even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. When you break down that word reverence, it goes into fear, man. All right, the wife has to make sure that she fears the husband. All right, and my point of bringing that out is, man, if the woman continuously is being friendly with other guys outside of her marriage, that's not fear. That's not fear, man. She obviously doesn't fear her husband, man. And that's the problem right now in these times we living in, man, in America and all around the earth. The women have been, their brains have been rewired into believing that, we are equal, man. We are equals, and we all have the same, we just all been created 100% equal. And so because of them having that mindset, they don't fear their husbands, man. They don't even have the understanding that their husbands is their head, and he's actually set up to be over them, according to the order of the Most High, the Creator. They don't have that understanding. So in their minds, they believe that we're all equal, and they have just as much say so and just as much authority and power as over their husband as their husband has over them. And because of that mindset and that mentality, these women don't fear their husbands. So they believe they can go out and do whatever they want to do, and there's no consequence for it. And that's one of the big reasons, man. That's one of the big causes of this thing, man. Now, that's why so much fornication and adultery going on, man. Because we're not taking heed to these laws. And this is what the world is like. The way that we're living now, the way that the world is now with Esau ruling, this is the way that the world would be like, man. Without Yahweh Shem Yahushua, without his judgments, without his statutes, without his laws and commandments, man. This is how the world is, man. Just take a look around you, and this is how the world would be, man. A lawless world, man. All right. So that was it on that scripture, and I'm gonna go ahead and end it pretty soon. I think I made it longer than what I was expecting. But this is 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 2. And I'm going to go ahead and go with the spirit. Nevertheless, I'm going to start at verse 1. Salaki. 1 Corinthians 7 and 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and every woman have her own husband. All right, because, at one point in time, man, it's nothing new under the sun. So at one point in time, the way things were, one man would have wives, okay, and he would sleep with them or, do what he does. And once he got tired of them, he would, pass them along. The same way that Jake is doing today, man. The 2/3 are doing today. They sharing women, One man might be dealing with a woman, he don't want to deal with her no more. So he'll mess around and pass her to one of his homies, And that homie may pass, they might swap women, man, or something like that, And that's actually wicked, man. That's wicked because, you're not supposed to be dealing with the same women, man. You're not supposed to do that. And you make that woman, you make that woman a whore, especially if she's a sister, man, especially if she's an Israelite, a daughter of Zion. Then now you making that woman become a whore if she's not already one. All right. I think that's it on that. Yeah, that was it. That was just my point on that. I'm gonna go ahead and end it with this. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. All right, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. There is temptation taking you, but such as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So, if you see yourself in this type of situation, man, where, you friends with a woman, okay, and, it's nothing wrong with being friends. But what I'm talking about is when that if that woman has a man, okay, she's dealing with a man, she has a husband, then, you need to end that. You need to cut that because, y'all shouldn't be considering yourselves to be best friends and that woman has a man. All right. That creates a doorway for more opportunity. That creates a doorway for you guys to sleep with each other. That creates a doorway for more wickedness and for Satan to slither on in, man, and make his way on in. All right. That creates more opportunity for jealousy to build from the actual husband of that woman, which will in turn create more problems in their relationship, man, in their marriage, because now he's jealous and now she's feeling like it's insecurity. You know, when ultimately that guy isn't stupid and he knows that there's something going on, because while he's sitting amongst his neighbors and he's hearing about it and sighing bitterly, according to Sirach chapter 25. All right. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to you, sincere Akim. Death to America.